You didn't ask for it, I'm gonna give it to you anyway. Here are reasons why I love being a furry. So, a reason why I love being a furry is because I get to be someone I wish I was. And I know that might seem like a really weird statement to make, because I'm playing an anthropomorphic character, but honestly, as Woofles, I get to be this happy and excitable and always seeing the silver lining kind of character. And it really goes a long way, because as majority of people my age, I live with something called depression and social anxiety. And don't get me wrong, I still have those things even as a furry. But even for like just a few hours, I get to escape reality and escape all like the terrible things in life and just be a furry for just a few hours. And I know how that might sound, because people might call me like delusional or whatever. But honestly, with this delusion, what I've been able to do is I've been able to make YouTube videos like this. I've been able to do Twitch streaming for nearly 3 years. And I've been able to make a whole load of friends that I would have never had the opportunity to before I became a furry. So honestly, it's opened up so many doors for me, just by being able to escape reality a little bit. So if I get all that for being delusional, then I would 100% be taking delusion. So another reason why I love being a furry is because majority of the community are loving and warm and welcoming and simply adorable. And the reason why I say this is because, like I said in the previous video, everything I learned about being a furry came from like my friends. And I made these friends over on Twitch. And whenever I had like a question about what fur affinity is or what's Telegram, they answered me and they didn't make me feel stupid. And I think the reason for that is because who really knows about like the furry fandom apart from furries? So there is really no dumb questions, because majority of the time new furs are just learning about the community. And like I said, there are so many characters in the furry community that are just adorable. And I just think it's amazing, because every time I see this art and characters that people make, it almost warms my heart, because I just want to hug them and squish their little faces, because all of them are simply amazing and I love them. And I think that's what I get excited about most, because there's just so many things going on in the furry community, and I feel like I'm always learning. And that's something that I think other people might enjoy too. So another reason why I love being a furry is because there are so many fur cons all around the world. And if anybody else has seen any of my other videos, you know that fur cons are always really interesting to me, because there's just so much to them. For example, I know that there's some that do like dance-offs and panels, and they've got the dealer's den, and then you got like there's a thing called the sketchbook swap, where you bring your sketchbook and you all swap sketchbooks, and by the end of the day you have a whole sketchbook just full of random drawings. And I love that, because it's just so amazing and you get to see so many different personalities. And particularly why I do love fur cons, despite the fact that I've actually never been to one myself, apart from the Furality on VRChat, I just find them really amazing, because given that all the hate you get as being a furry on YouTube, on social media, on just life in general, it's actually really nice being able to just chill and unleash the furriness in a whole load of people who are just like you, just want to have a good time and being a furry as a hobby or whatever. Honestly, I think it's absolutely amazing. And like I said, since it's like all around the world, even in Scotland, a population of 5.5 million people, we have one that's called ScotiaCon, which actually might be this weekend, depending when I release this video. But I just love that there's quite a few readily available around the world, and I like that they're growing. And like I said, it gives a wee safe haven for people just to be themselves. And I think that's pretty nice. So another reason why I love furries is because in general, furries are super creative. We've got artists, we've got animators, we've got musicians, we've got even like Twitchers and YouTubers. Like, there's so many different areas for people to express their creativity, and some of the stuff people come up with are actually super creative, and I think it's really wonderful. And this isn't to say that other like creative industries aren't creative, but it's just an added bonus that furries like really express themselves in different areas. And for me, again, I think it's actually really incredible, because it's not like it's got up to a point and it's stopped. Like, furries were... I said in one of my previous videos that the term furry fandom actually comes from like a fanfic magazine of Fritz the Cat. So even like the start of furry communities like 40 years ago are like doing incredible things and like incredibly creative things, and I love that that's continued throughout the years. And here's hoping that there's even more projects in the work. So another reason why I love being a furry is because there is no checklist in order to be considered a furry. So you don't need a fursuit, you don't need a Fursona, you don't need to be a furry artist, you don't need to go to furcons or VR chat or anything like that. The only thing that matters is that you enjoy furry things and you consider yourself a furry. That's literally it. And I love that because there's so much less pressure. Like, you've got these kind of role-playing games where you need to kind of keep up with things and have like an understanding of how things work. Whereas with furries, it's just like, I want to be a furry bean. And I really do love that, because people can be themselves and not need to always feel like they need to keep up with things and know like the latest forums and Telegram or Twitter or whatever. It's just be yourself. And continuing on with that, I also love the fact that we've got individuals who do a lot of furry things and enjoy the furry community, but are also able to not call themselves furry if they don't want to. And I also think that's great. And I'm glad that it's really not frowned upon, because end of the day, it's all about having fun and being yourself and just exploring and having fun being a furry. So those are reasons why I love being a furry. Is there anything that you guys would add? Is there anything I missed? Please pop them down in the comment section, I would love to see them. And if you do like this kind of content, please give it a little like and a wee subscription, because honestly it goes a long way. Believe me. And if you fancy chatting to me live, please pop over to my Twitch, I'm on those days. And like I said during the video, if you fancy showing me your Fursona, I would love to see them. So if that's the case, please pop a tag over on my Twitter, and I would definitely 100% comment on your Fursona. But if you're to take anything from this video, it's that you mattered yesterday, you matter today, and you matter tomorrow. And I love every single one of you. Mwah!